How's everyone doing today? Welcome back to another video. And before we dive in, I do have to give this disclosure/disclaimer. The following video is tips and tricks on how to save money to reach your financial goals. But I am not a financial advisor or any type of financial expert. These are just tips and tricks based on my experiences and my opinions. You follow along and do the following tips and tricks at your own risk. Alright, I hope everyone enjoys the video and I hope everyone finds it helpful, and let's dive in. Let's go. Welcome back to another video, everyone. Now, in today's video, I just want to go through some tips to help everyone save up money to reach whatever goal financially you're trying to reach. Alright? So the tips that we're going to go over and the things that we're going to go over in today's video are things that you may want to use in order to help you reach financial goals that you set for yourself. Okay? So, in particular in this video today, let's say for instance, you wanted to save up to get something. It could be anything you want. It could be a smartphone, a tablet, a computer, a car, a house, a down payment for a house, anything you want. But you're not sure what you have to do to start saving, or even you're not sure what you can do to make the money that you save accumulate faster with little to no effort. Okay? In today's video, I'm going to take you through some tips that will help you navigate those money saving areas. Alright? So starting off, some things that you're going to need. Alright? And this will help you save your money and help you accumulate money faster. And I'm going to explain why you need all of these things as we go throughout the video. So, number one, and this is probably the most important thing, you need a interest-bearing savings account. There's a variety of different interest-bearing savings accounts, and they all have some prerequisites or some requirements. Primarily what you want to look for when you're looking for an interest-bearing savings account, you want to look for one that's free to open. It has the highest interest return per year that you can find, because it's based off of a YPA interest standard, so that's interest calculated over the year. And you want ones that have no minimum balance requirements. Okay? And some of the interest-bearing savings accounts that I can recommend you guys and gals use, two of which I use myself. One is from Capital One. Capital One being the credit card company. They also have an interest-bearing savings account. It's called their 360 Performance Savings Account, and it does have interest-bearing on it. That's one that I use, the 360 Performance Savings Account. And then the other one that I would recommend that I also use is from Chime. Alright? Again, both of these interest-bearing savings accounts, they calculate your interest on the year, and they have a zero minimum balance requirement, and they're free to open. I'll have links to these interest-bearing savings accounts located down below in the video description, along with some other free to open interest-bearing savings accounts. The reason why an interest-bearing savings account is so important is because the money that you put in there accumulates money the longer it stays in there. Right? So you want to find an interest-bearing savings account, and you want to make sure it has the highest interest rate possible. Right? Prime example, if you get a Capital One 360 Performance interest-bearing savings account, that will get you anywhere between 4.25% all the way up to 5% depending on what you qualify for. All right. And then another example, if you use the Chime savings account, the Chime interest-bearing savings account, that will get you at least 2% interest on all the money that you have in there. Okay? So that's what you're going to need. That's number one. You're going to need an interest-bearing savings account. All right? Then the next thing you're going to need is you're going to have to sit down and you want to calculate all your expenses. All right? You want to calculate all your monthly bills and expenses. I actually have two Google documents, two quite lengthy Google documents. One is just my monthly bills, which is separated from my debit and my credit card. And the other is my debts, okay? So debts is the money that I lend out to people that they have to pay me back. So those are two of my most important Google documents that I have. But the one that you guys and gals want to focus on here is you want to make a Google document outlining all of your monthly expenses, all of your monthly bills, right? Once you've outlined all of your monthly expenses and all of your monthly bills, you then want to sit down and you want to remove things that you feel you don't really need, okay? So if you have subscriptions that you got just to do a certain thing and then you haven't really used them after that, you want to go in and you want to cancel those subscriptions. You want to minimize your monthly bills as much as possible to something that you can manage paying monthly, okay? So you want to go through your monthly bills and cut off or reduce anything that you can. So let's say your phone bill is a little high. You can find subcarriers from the main carriers that offer the same performance at a cheaper price. Prime example, that's why Straight Talk from Verizon is my main carrier. It's a subcarrier of Verizon, and it's the monthly bill that I pay just for a cell phone service is $37 and change. As opposed to if I would have went to Verizon directly, I would have been paying a minimum of $80 and upwards, depending on what I got on my plan. You see? So if you want to reduce your phone bill, you might want to research subcarriers in your area that your current carrier owns. Because if you use a subcarrier, you get the same service at a discounted rate. So you're saving money, right? Prime example, another subcarrier of Verizon is Webull. Webull actually offers really cheap, affordable service. We're talking about starting at $25, okay? The most expensive Webull service is $45 for unlimited everything. So you gotta sit down and figure out how you can reduce your monthly expenses to something that's manageable, right? So once you've done that, once you've sat down and you calculated your monthly expenses and then you cut down the monthly expenses to only the things that you need, only the things that you use on a regular basis, then you're ready for the next step, okay? It's at this point now you want to calculate all of your monthly income, all right? That can be from your main job. Maybe you have one source of income. Maybe you have multiple sources of income. You want to calculate all of your monthly income. And it doesn't matter how you get this income. You just want to know what it is. Okay? So that's number 2. After you've calculated your expenses and cut down your expenses as much as you can, now you want to go and calculate all of your monthly income. Right? Now, once you've calculated your monthly income, you then want to try and see if you can find a credit card that you qualify for that gives you cash back every time you use it. I'm going to explain why you want to do this in a little bit here. Okay? So you need to go out and find you a credit card that gives you cash back every time you use it. Okay? And I'm going to explain why you need that. So that's the next step. Once you got your monthly expenses together, you got your monthly income together, then you need to find a credit card that gives you cash back. Preferably the highest cash back, the better, right? Prime example, Capital One, they have credit cards that give you cash back starting at 1.5% per dollar spent, and it goes up based on what you spend the money on. And they have credit cards going all the way up to 3%. Okay, and again, that goes up to as much as 5% depending on what you spend that money on. Okay, so find you a cashback or money back credit card that you can use. All right, and the whole reason why you want a cashback or money back credit card is because you're gonna take your monthly expenses and you're gonna shift that over to being paid with your credit card. All right. And some of y'all may be saying, whoa, E, what? I don't know if you want to do that. Listen, hear me out. Let me explain. The reason why you want to do this is you're getting cash back on all your monthly expenses, right? So the same money that you would have been spending from your debit card or paying cash on, if you shift that over to your credit card, you're now getting money back for those same expenditures, right? And remember, because you reduced your monthly expenses as much as you can and made it manageable, that now means every month all you have to do is worry about paying that credit card statement down to zero, and then you can recycle that and do the same thing for the next month. So every month now, instead of having multiple bills to pay from multiple sources, you just pay one credit card statement and then everything else gets pulled from your credit card and you're good. And keep in mind, for all those payments, you're getting money back on those payments. All right? So your money that you're spending is actually making you money. All right? So if you do this correctly, essentially all you will have at the beginning of the month, at the middle of the month, or at the end of the month, all you will have is two primary bills. Okay? I don't know how rents and mortgages go with credit cards, because I don't pay my rent straight from my credit card. That's the one thing I do have coming out of my main debit card account. Okay, but to give you an example, I essentially have two big major bills every month. I have my rent, and then I have my credit card statement or credit card balance. After that, all of my other monthly expenses are coming out of my credit card. So food, gas, all of my monthly expenses, subscription services, it's all coming out of my credit card. And then I just pay my credit card balance when the credit card balance generates, or I pay my credit card statement when the credit card statement generates, right? And keep in mind, I'm earning cash back or money back on all of these payments or all of these bills. So me spending money is actually making me money. And it has the adverse effect of also raising up my credit score. So let's say, for instance, when the time comes, let's say I want to buy a car, or I want to buy a house, or I need to get a loan for a down payment on a house, that good credit score is going to help me in getting those things. Now, that's not something that you need primarily to get those things, but having it and having it be in good standing, it only makes the process easier for you. So using your credit card makes you money, and it also boosts your credit score as well, which will also assist you later on when you're trying to do things like buy a car or buy a house or what have you. All right, so that is the benefit as to why I would say you want to shift all your monthly expenses over to your credit card and just make sure you pay that credit card balance or that credit card statement come month time when it generates. All right, so now your monthly expenses are making you money. Now, next thing you want to do, right, is you also want to save some money, right? Now, I like to use the 10% savings method. What is the 10% savings method? 10% of all money that I make during the month goes into one of my interest-bearing savings accounts. Now, I actually have two. Like I said before, I have one with Capital One, the 360 Performance account, and I also have one with Chime, right? So come month time, I'm putting in 10% from all income into one of those two interest-bearing savings accounts. Okay? Or you can split 10% between two interest-bearing savings accounts. So if I wanted to, I can say 5% goes to one account and 5% goes to the other account. But the most important thing here is you want to save 10% of all income that you make during the month. It doesn't matter what it is, okay? If you have a main source of income and you have multiple side hustles or side sources of income, every time you make some money, right? Every time you make some money, you want to save 10% of it. So let's say you get your check during the month or during the week, you pay your bills, and then you also put aside 10% and put it into your savings. And then let's say you got multiple side hustles. Every time you make money from that side hustle, you pull 10% and you put it into your savings, right? Prime example, right? So I am what you'd like to call a tech handyman, right? So essentially, if any of my friends or family calls and it's something tech related and they need help setting it up, or they have friends that have something tech related and they need help setting it up, I go and I set it up for them, and they give me a little something towards helping them do that, and I take 10% of that something and I put it into one of my interest-bearing savings accounts, right? Now, that I do throughout the month, right? And most of the time I put aside some money for gas, and then I just put the 10% into one of my interest-bearing savings accounts, and that's it. But what is that doing? That's also making it so the money that you're saving is earning you money. Alright, so you see the trend here, guys and gals. You now have multiple sources of income earning you money with minimal to no effort, right? So let's say you wanted to save up to buy that car, or you wanted to save up that down payment for a house. Whatever you're trying to do, it doesn't matter what it is. As long as you keep these guidelines in mind that I mentioned in the video, and you just keep putting aside 10% from your income, alright, eventually you're going to hit the goal that you want to hit. It doesn't matter what it is. Prime example, I do this for my YouTube channel all the time, right? This prime example, this iPhone 11 right here, right? I saved up the money for this, right? And then, because I wanted to earn money on the money for this, I took the money that I would have paid for this and just paid that out to my credit card. So that's why I got this on a payment program, because the money that I would have spent buying this outright eventually ended up earning me money for the same amount of money. That's why I did that. So that's one of the ways that I actually picked up this for the YouTube channel, the iPhone 11, right? Another prime example, okay? A lot of the devices that you guys and gals see me pick up on the channel through the payment programs, primarily the Amazon payment program, that's what I do. I save up the money, and then instead of paying the money out all one time, I would just put it onto the credit card and have those payments come out for the payment period. And then those payments are making me money while I'm spending the money. So y'all see the trend here? So the same amount of money that I would have spent outright is actually making me money in the long run, and I'm still spending the same amount of money. Alright, so that's the trick y'all got to understand here. It's not about what you're saving up for, it's how you do it. Okay? And then eventually, you'll have money saved up to where hopefully financial issues should not be a problem. Okay? Because think about it. Let's think about this. Let's do another scenario here. Let's do another hypothetical, right? So let's say, let me pull up a calculator here real quick. Alright, so let's say your monthly income is $1,000. Keep in mind, you can have multiple sources of monthly income. Let's say you go through your monthly expenses and you got your monthly expenses down to, let's say, $600. Let's make it easy, right? And then let's also say you went ahead and you took your 10% from your monthly income. 10% of $1,000 is $100. So right from that, I don't wanna add, I wanna subtract. So you wanna minus another $100. Right. So you paid your bills and you also saved money, and you still got $300 to work with. Right? See how that works? And then also, and this is probably one of the other more important things I want you guys and gals to get in the habit of doing, set yourself hard limits for your account, right? And what do I mean by set yourself hard limits? When your account hits a certain number, you're broke. It's not zero, but I want you to think to yourself, okay, my account hit this number, I don't have any more money. That means you gotta hustle up and get more money, or you gotta stop spending because you don't want your account to hit zero. So I want you guys and gals to get in the habit of seeing a certain number in your account as you having zero money in your account. I do this all the time. I have a set number for all of my accounts that once those accounts hit that number, okay, I'm broke. There's no more money in there. Don't ask me for no more money because I don't have it, because my accounts have hit that limit, and that means I'm not spending any more money out of those accounts. So you need to also get in the habit of setting a hard limit for yourself where you see it as you don't have any money. Okay? That gives you a little cushion, and that also drives you to go make more money because you feel like you don't have money, right? So I want y'all to get in the habit of doing that. And it can be any amount you want. Maybe you look at your account, you got $50 in there. Okay, I got $50, I'm broke, I'm not spending no more money, I gotta go make some more money. Or, hey, it can even be $100. Okay, you look in your accounts, okay, I got $100 in there, I'm broke, I'm not spending no more money, I gotta go make some more money. Or you can really push yourself. Maybe it's like $500. Okay, got $500 in my account. I'm broke. I gotta go make some more money. You know, get in the habit of giving yourself a hard cutoff limit. Okay? I really want you guys and gals to get in the habit of doing that. Give yourself a hard cutoff limit and commit to not spending any money past that limit. Okay? You do these things, and I guarantee you guys and gals, any goal that you're trying to achieve, when it comes to financial achievements, you can achieve it, right? And just so we can finish off this example, so your monthly bills were $600, and then you saved $100, that still gave you a $300 cushion, right? So rolling over into the next month now, let's pull up another calculator here. Rolling over into the next month, you now have $100. Okay, you now have $100 in your interest-bearing savings account. So that $100 is actually earning you money just by being in there, right? So you now have $100 in there. Don't touch that. That's strictly for emergencies, or every so often if you want to like spoil yourself, you want to go out to dinner, you know, you can spend $20, you can go out to dinner. You want to go catch a movie, you can spend $20, you can go catch a movie, right? But consistently, you should be adding money to your interest-bearing savings account, and you want to add more money than you take out. Again, you really shouldn't be taking money out of your savings account until you hit the goal that you set for yourself. And I want you guys and gals to get in the habit of making your goals achievable. Maybe you don't want to start out with a big astronomical number like $5,000 or $7,000 or $10,000 or $100,000. No, you ain't gotta start out with something so crazy. Maybe you just start out with, okay, I'm gonna try and save $200. I'm gonna try and save $500. I'm gonna try and save $700. I'm gonna try and save $1,000, and then you bump it up. Okay, now that I saved $500, I'm gonna try and save $1,000. Okay, now that I saved $700, I'm gonna try and save $1,400. Okay, now that I saved $1,000, I'm gonna try and save $2,000, and you just keep bumping it up. Each milestone you hit, you bump it up, and then eventually, before you know it, oh wow, I done hit my goal. I got $1,000 in the bank, or I got $2,000 in the bank, or I got $10,000 in the bank. These financial goals and all of these financial tips that I pointed out in this video, it's kind of like life, right? You don't just wake up one day and you're a millionaire, right? Anybody who is a millionaire, unless it was by birth, unless they were born into the money by birth, they had to go out there and work for that. And they had to build, all right? They had to set goals and hit certain milestones and build. And then when they hit the key milestone, they're like, okay, we made it. We a millionaire, baby. We made it, right? And they put in the work, and they hit the goals and hit the milestones, and they achieved their goals. That too is this. It's a work in progress, all right? You start small, and then you build up, all right? And then prime example, right? So let's go back to the money example here. So let's say you do this for about 8 months. So now you have $300 in the bank. Every month you should have about $300 in the bank. And let's say you do this for about 8 months, right? So, okay, cool. Equals 300. 300 times the 8 months, that means you just saved $2,400. Okay? On the flip side of that, let's say you did the savings account the same way. All right? So 1 month you made $100, okay? And you did that for 8 months, right? So check this out. $100 times 8 months, now you just made $800. And all you simply did was try and save $100 every month. And keep in mind, because this is going into an interest-bearing savings account, that's actually more than $800. Okay? So the money that you're saving is actually more than you think it is. Alright? So that, guys and gals, pretty much does it for today's video. I hope you guys and gals found this video helpful. If you did, you guys and gals know what to do. And guys and gals, do not get discouraged. Okay? You can do this. You can do these tips. You can do these saving strategies. You can set these goals. Keep in mind, it can be any goal you want it to be. You start small and then you just keep building. Alright? I hope you guys and gals are having a great day. I hope you guys and gals are staying safe out there. And I will catch everyone in the next video. Have a good one, everybody. We're out of here. Peace.